Handmade. Today we are knitting podcasting. That's what we're doing. This is the thing that we're doing. So, sorry if the light is a little weird. It's partly because it's miserable and rainy outside, and partly because I've got a big light, I've got my studio light, and I know nothing about lighting, which is a bit of a problem. But that's okay, we're not going to worry about it. Let's talk FOs. Okay, so I have one FO this time round. This is probably quite a speedy podcast in that I haven't done a lot other than the stuff that I'd already shown you. So these are my finished daisy socks by Daisy Knits. So they are finished, yay! Didn't take me too long in the end to finish these off. They were a nice pattern. For those who don't know, I test knit these, and that shows you sort of the half of the design goes down the foot, and that one shows you the hot one. So yes, I have finished these. They are a lovely pattern. They are in a collection with two other sets of socks which I cannot wait to knit, so they are on my list. So first FO is the daisy socks. When I say first FO, that is my only FO, I'm afraid. I have been knitting, it just has been that, you know, the kind of knitting where you are so tired at the end of the day that you're like, I just want stockinette and put New Girl on and sit in my chair and knit, knit, knit. It's exactly what I've been doing. So there's a few things that I need to get done, but are not there yet. As usual, I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my Zweig, which is by Caitlin Hunter, Boylan Knitworks, and the colourways are Life in the Long Grass in Antique. I'll correct myself if I've forgotten. And this one is Lay Family Yarns in the Cornish Way, in her Stellina. I love this top. In case anyone didn't know, I love this top. There's actually a few new cast-ons, which is impressive for me. So this is the one I've been working on the most, and this is my City Limits by Tanis Lavalee. Woohoo! So colourways, you're really going to test me now. Macaron by Lay Family Yarns, then Dusty Dimples Amongst the Fields of Harmony, then this blue is the Literary Potato Peel Society by Dandelion and Dogwood, and then I'm now on to, I think it's Boho Bunny by also Dandelion and Dogwood. Sorry, the light's not great today, but there you go. So I am just at the point where I'm going to fade in my next colour, sock cake. Halloween themed. How cool is this? This is from my lovely friend Molly Klein, from Molly Klein Designs and Sweet Tea Yarns. So the yarn isn't Molly's. This is Fusion Frenzy by Hey Sister Yarn Co, who are no longer dying. Every time I'm sad, so sad. I do have another skein which is Driftwood by Life in the Long Grass, just in case I need to go into a sixth skein, but I'm hoping that I don't have to. At the moment the length looks good if I just add one more. So a lot of my skeins I am incredibly low on, so I may have to do 3/4 length sleeves. This is all I have left of the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Society. Hopefully it'll be fine. Yeah, so I've just been knitting on this. For those who haven't seen this before, there is a lovely little detail, and it's designed to be worn reverse stockinette with this detail on the side. Now, those who have watched the podcast previously will know I made a mistake. So this is meant to be pearls every single round, and what I started on the raglans and then decided to continue was a knit round, then a pearl round. So mine is slightly more open and lacy, but I really like it, so I decided I'd continue it. That's had some work on it at least, so I don't feel too bad about the fact that I've only finished one thing, which is the sock. So the next thing I have to show you is the Whitmer Sweater by Amy Lowden. I have finished the body. I just thought I'll do these 6 rows of lace on the sleeves and then I've just got Stockinette City. Could I do it last night? No. Just didn't have the headspace. You know those days where you just can't function with lace charts, or cables is my worst one. But this one, I just was like, God, put it down, can't do it. Where's my Stockinette project? Quick. So this will get done, and it's only 2 sleeves. It shouldn't take me long, but I'm in love with it. Lighting is terrible on this today, but most of you have seen it before. I think it's going to be like an absolute staple wardrobe item because it's this gorgeous oatmeal colour with those gorgeous pink speckles. So I don't have a lot to say about the Whitmoor other than I've finished the actual body and it's really soft. So then we go on to new cast-ons, and I have 2 new cast-ons, surprisingly enough. I went stash diving and I needed a sock. So after I finished the daisy socks, I promised myself I could cast on some self-striping, nice easy plain socks, and I promised myself that this time I 100% am doing this cut-in heel. No if, buts or maybes, afterthought heel has to happen. So I picked up one of my long-term stash livers. That doesn't make sense. Ugh, sounds really gross actually. Some of my long-term stash self-striping, and this is the Bruised Peach self-striping from Les Family Yarn. They aren't doing self-striping as far as I'm aware at the moment. I mean, I don't think it's a never say never, but this is the Bruised Peach self-striping and it is lovely. So as I said, I'm just doing a 64 stitch sock. I'm intending for these to be shorties, but I'm going to just make them really long and put the heel in where I feel that it needs to be. So I have 1, 2, 3, about 6 rows of twisted rib, not very much, just enough that it's not rolling. And I generally, with my self-striping socks, just use 1 stripe repeat or 2 stripe repeats depending on the size of the sock for my ribbing. And then we've gone into this gorgeous, almost like a sunset effect with a speckle round, a speckle stripe, which is amazing. So I'm really enjoying this. It's just mindless stockinette. The other thing that is making this amazing is my ChiaoGoo needles. Everyone knows I profess my love for ChiaoGoo needles. I've even given away my Symphony Knit Pros to my mum because I said I don't use them, I only use my ChiaoGoos, I don't really use anything else. The only other needles that I recommend if you're a new knitter and you want to just try out some needles is Knit Pro Zings. So I use my Knit Pro Zings if I don't have a ChiaoGoo needle. That's the only time really. And I've been knitting my socks on Zings simply because that's the sizes that I had in Zings. And then I bought a 2.25mm in the ChiaoGoos, and I bought some mini cable connectors and some more cables and 2 sets of 2.25 tips to go in my ChiaoGoo set. And oh my god, I can't stop knitting with these. The join is so good on a ChiaoGoo. It is so good. I can barely feel that there's a join there. I find with my Zings that I get caught really easily and it's really annoying. And I didn't realise how annoying it was until I didn't have to do it anymore. So I'm knitting these on my ChiaoGoos. That's not to say that I won't ever use my Zings again. I probably will, but I'll probably grumble about it, because I love my ChiaoGoos and the knitting is gorgeously even. So yeah, that was my first new cast on. Other reason that I went ahead and bought some more cables for my ChiaoGoos is because I started this project and I only had a ridiculously long cable, and it is still on the ridiculously long cable. Look, I've not even started the knitting, there you go. Stupid, it's so annoying. I am going to move it in a second. So this is a very long-term stash item. This is Louisa Harding. I've forgotten the name. I think it's Grace. Louisa Harding something. I'll put it on the screen. And it is a blend of silk, cotton, and I think there's a bit of something softer in there. And this is the Rosa Cardigan by Avec. And those who have been watching the podcast will know that I've recently knit her RL jumper. So the Rosa is very similar to, is it the Felix pullover? In that it has these beautiful raglan increases. I have actually done this on a baby sweater also. I've knitted a baby cardigan when I was pregnant for my little boy, and it had very similar increases too. So it's not exclusive to the Felix, but it is beautiful, and it's a really nice, intuitive, fun raglan increase that looks like kind of branches or trees. It's beautiful. So this is my Rosa cardigan. It's been a long time since I knitted with anything cottony, but I'm really enjoying it. I just picked this yarn up and I keep putting it back in my stash and taking it out again and putting it back. And it's because this green is actually a really good colour for me. And I used to have a green cardi. I wore it all of the time, but I just keep looking at it like, oh, it's so bright, I don't know if I can. And also I only had 10 balls of this, and although that seemed like enough when I was a new knitter, I just figured you'd bought 10 balls of everything and that made a sweater. It does not, but it will make a little crop sweater, so that's my intention. So here's the cardigan so far. Yeah, so I'm just finishing off the raglans. I'm finding them a little confusing just at this bottom end. I'm not quite sure why. It might just be my lace charter version that I seem to be suffering from at the moment. Just a bit of concentration and I can just push through it, and then it's plain stockinette all the way to the end, and then picking up the button bands and stuff. So I would really like to get this done because it's actually quite a nice summery cardigan, but it would also be really good for autumn. And for those who haven't seen this before, I don't know if I've ever shown it on the podcast. It's not going to show you. There is stellina in it, and it's ever so slightly sparkly, and it's really pretty for that, because that then means that it's a little bit dressy without being too much, so I could just chuck it over nice top and jeans. Always a good wardrobe staple if you can chuck it over a nice top and jeans, if you ask me. So that is the Rosa cardigan that I have just cast on. I think that is everything I had to show you on that front. If you missed my big announcement, I have just started my own hand-dyed yarn company, which is called Curated Yarn Co. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait for you guys to finally be able to actually purchase. At the moment we're looking at early September for a launch, and for the store to be 100% open. I'm just waiting on a few little bits. So the yarn I'm going to show you in acquisitions is not my yarn, it is everybody else's lovely hand-dyed yarn, and some of this is from D-Stash. So let me show you the D-Stash skeins first. So from D-Stash I picked up a couple of these from the lovely I Show of Dusty Dimples, and she did an Instagram stories D-Stash, which is a bit unusual, but I just happened to catch it at the right time, and she is lovely and we chat quite a bit on Instagram. So she had a few things that caught my eye, so I picked up 2 stranded dye-work skeins, and I do have a bit of stranded in my stash, but I couldn't resist. So this is her, if you've got kids in the room, just a warning what I'm going to say. So this is the If I Want Exposure I'll Get My Out, and this is the Bras Off a Clock was her colourway, and I remember at the time, every time this went up it sold out immediately, and then it come up again and it went. And I did get a few of the if I want exposure skeins. For those who can't remember or those who weren't around at the time, Countess Blaze released one of her colourways and her recipe, and she invited lots of other dyers to create charity skeins. So this was her, this was Stranded Dye Works, Amy's offering. I think I bought a sweater quantity of one of those from Beehive and a few others that I still have knocking around in my stash, so I really need to get knitting them because I clearly love those colours, lots and lots. And then the other thing that I picked up from her, which was also Stranded Dye Works, I should have said these are her 75-25. I don't think she names her bases anymore. This is Oasis, but I think she just calls it the 75-25. And this is Nougat. I have this already in the Sanctuary base, which is a BFL bamboo, I think, and it's only available in Alternate Universe in Bristol, and I just really wanted the colour, and I still haven't used that skein, but I think I'm probably going to use it for socks because a BFL is quite a sturdy thing, and this is just gorgeous, and I think I'd like to use it in something colour work, and I'd been looking for it for a long time. Now, I don't know why I do this every time. I should just be, you know, buying hand-dyed yarn is great. That's exactly what I should be saying. So I picked up a few beauties from Norah George and from Biff Sugar because my obsession with all things Biff Sugar. And these are all DK. So I have been trying not to buy 4-ply fingering weight if I can help it, partly because I've dyed quite a lot of it recently and I have quite a lot of it in my stash. So this stuff here is all 4-ply. I do also have one of my boxes full of 4-ply, and then I have the skeins that make sweater quantities that are also 4-ply fingering weight. So there's quite a bit of 4-ply in my life and I'd like to reduce it just a touch. So I went with DK, and lots of people have been sort of amping up the DK because it's getting to like kind of sweater weather, and yeah, and actually some of the stuff I bought is very similar. Let's start off with the Norah George. So no, I'm not, I'm starting off with Biff Sugar. So Biff Sugar, Florence. Oh, orange autumny, perfect dreamy colourway. Has like a touch of kind of browns and purplies. That's okay, show you, yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, that is her DK. Her DK is a 75-25, 100 grams, 225 meters. And I also picked up the Amethyst, I think this is, yes, Amethyst colourway. Oh, so pretty, this really pale purple with some purple speckles in. So they looked really cute together, but I'm not sure if I will use them together. So the next group of yarns that I picked up were Norah George, and she had a coupon code going, I think, or a sale. She's really good at creating some interesting sales and things as well. So this is Dog Rose, and this is a sock because I don't think she had it on DK. Otherwise I would have bought it on DK. And I picked up her Rose Gold mini set, but this is also their DK because they didn't have the sock set. So they are lovely. It's this kind of colour, it's really pretty, kind of coppery, rosy tones. This is a bit similar to kind of Rosy Lee, which I'm knitting my Whitmoor out of. And then there's kind of rhubarb custardy kind of colour, and then a pink, and then like a vanilla with pink speckles. Gorgeous, really like it. I think it would be really nice in like a colourwork shawl type design, like a DK one. There's a few nice ones with stripes. Yeah, I think they'd be cool. Especially with a base, a really soft base, like that. Obviously not DK, so can't do that. Then I picked up 2 more DK skeins from Norah George. This is Rustbucket, which is totally out of my comfort zone. but I really like it. It's kind of, see, it's on the website it looked more blue than it is green, but this is pretty good colour representation. Yeah, Rustbucket, it's really cool. I think it would make a nice gift knit, like a nice hat or something, you know, squishy. It's a really squishy base. I should mention her DK is 100% superwash merino, and it is 225 metres too, but it's not a 75-25. Then I picked up Dahlia. Now, I know some people say Dahlia, I say Dahlia. Yes, oh, so pretty. This is like a garden in a skein to me. It's so gorgeous. There's like this appley green and purples and pinks all splooshed over it. So yes, this is Dahlia. So again, I have outdone myself with acquisitions. Never mind, we can just, all we can do is knit. I have also done a bit of vlog footage for you, and I will show you that, and it will come soon. I'm just going to do a little update about Curated Yarn Co. In another video. So thank you to all those people who have been kind enough to message, to follow, to interact generally with my new venture, which is Curated Yarn Co., which is hand-dyed yarn. If you missed any of the announcements, please check out the videos. I'll put a link card up so you can find those. There will be a series of 3 videos. 2 of those are up already. The 3rd one should be up by the time this comes out. So the first video is all about the brand, why I called it Curated Yarn Co., why I decided to do this. All of that kind of stuff is up and ready for you to view. The second video went up recently, and that's all about what whole 100-gram skeins are going into the shop for the first update. And the 3rd video is all about the one-of-a-kind mini skein sets that will be going up in the shop also. So check out those videos if you are at all interested in buying some gorgeous hand-dyed yarn dyed by yours truly. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, don't forget you can like and subscribe. Again, please check out any of the other videos. I have a playlist all about Curated Yarn Co. I have a playlist all about sewing, so if you're interested in your sewing, there's more of that coming up on the channel too. Lots going on at the moment, lots more videos being made, so I hope you enjoy, and I will see you really soon. Take care.